Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Yes, I'm Joan and I hail from Belize. I migrated to New York in 2001, but I go home quite often, sometimes 3 times for the year. And when I go home, I reconnect. I'm always in touch with the indigenous rural women in Belize. I am an indigenous in my country. My ethnic group is called the Garifuna. So we are the intermarriage of the free blacks with the yellow Carib. So I'm a black Indian. And so I'm indigenous in Belize. We also, the original inhabitants of Belize are the Maya Indians. And I also work with the Maya Indians because the original people, they're so smart, you know? And so we work together because we're both indigenous. We help each other. And our thing is to reserve certain things in our country. Land is important to the indigenous people. In the Maya village where I go, for instance in Belize, in Maya Center, we have a place called the reserve area for the jaguar. And some people may say, oh, that's not important. It is, because animals are important. And so we work together. And then in the Garifuna community, we have an area that we call Carib Reserve. And that was put aside so that we can own our land and hold on to land, because land is important, it's an asset. And so, but lately, over the years, some of us have migrated to the US. And what happens, they leave the land with people who are there, and sometimes when they are sending home the tax money, then they find out the land is not even there. So sometimes even families would get greedy, you know, somebody come and offer them money, and so you hear these sad stories with people sending home their tax to hold on to it because they're telling themselves when they retire, they'll go home. And some of them get tricked or so on in losing their land. So it's a very important thing. But I want to summarize pretty much what we do as indigenous people in Belize, and storytelling is a good way to get it, because I know I don't have much time, so I'm gonna put it in a short story. There's a story that goes like this. It's called Mousetrap. The mouse said, oh, there's a snake, there's a mousetrap in the house, there's a mousetrap in the house. So he ran outside and he saw the chicken, and the chicken said, oh, that's not my business. Then he went to the cow outside. He said, there's a mouse trap in the house. There's a mouse trap in the house. This is on a farmer's farm. And the cow says, oh, not my business. You little silly mouse. Go and take care of that. So, a few days later, the wife of the farmer came down, and there was a snake that she didn't see in her kitchen, and the snake bit her. And then she went to the hospital. So the farmer came home and they said, your wife will need chicken soup to nourish her body. And so they took the chicken, who said it wasn't his business, and they used the chicken to make chicken soup so that the farmer's wife could get well. So there's it. So the chicken went. And then after that, now the lady did not survive. She lived for like a week or two, and then she died. And then now they had the repast, and they had the viewing and all of that. So the farmer said, well, I need to kill the cow so that we can feed all the people who's coming to bury my wife and to celebrate her life. And so even though they thought the mouse trap was not important, they didn't want to help the mouse, they ended up being dead even before the mouse, because the mouse was very cautious in not getting in the mouse trap, you know. And that's the way we work. Sometimes when we think it's not our business, we don't want to help. Oh, this one is struggling, that, and no, we're all connected, interconnected. So when you least expect, you know, if it can happen to your neighbor, it can happen to you. It's just a matter of time. However, if we get together and we work together, we can move mountains. And you know, if we leave from here with any of, that's what the women, that's what we should do as women, because as some of my colleagues mentioned, we are the source, you know. Everything begins at home. And so if we take care of home, then the people we nurture in the home will go out and they will take care of others. And so you start in your little circle, and your little circle will go on. And so long after you're gone, your good works will still be continued if you nurture it properly. I thank you.